If you've got a moment, I've got a story worth telling. Out on the frontier, stories don't travel far. The ones that do usually cost someone something.
Chapter 32, Through the Fire. The chamber split apart beneath them. Stone's wings flared wide, a cathedral of alloy and light. The sun, forming between his hands, blazed brighter than anything Mack or Ace had ever seen, and in its glow there was no trace of the man they once knew. Only the vessel's will, a god wearing their brother's skin. "Judgment is final," Stone thundered. "Behold the end!" The star burst. Mack's instincts screamed before thought could catch up. He lunged for Ace, dragging him down behind the largest slab of collapsed machinery left standing. It was barely chest high, already glowing red from the heat of the chamber. But it was all they had. The blast hit. Sound vanished, replaced by raw force. Heat seared the air, blistering skin even through armor. The slab buckled, liquefying at its edges. Mack threw himself over Ace, arms wrapping around him, his broken wrist screaming with every jolt. White fire roared around them. The shockwave punched the breath from their lungs. Metal screamed, folding, twisting, vaporizing. Mack felt his body lifting, dragged skyward, and forced it down through sheer animal refusal. His teeth shattered as he bit down to keep from screaming. He could smell himself burning. Then silence. Not the calm of safety, but the deafness that follows an explosion. Mack opened his eyes, saw nothing but red haze, and realized his visor was slagged. He ripped it off with his good hand, dragging air into lungs that felt like ash. They were alive. Barely. Ace twitched beneath him, his face a ruin of blood and soot. His lips moved, but no sound came. Mack shook him hard until his eyes fluttered open. "Still with me?" Mack rasped. His own voice sounded like it came from underwater. Ace coughed, tried to laugh, and spat blood. "You weigh a ton, you bastard!" Relief, bitter and sharp, cut through Mack's exhaustion. The chamber was unrecognizable. Walls melted into rivers of glowing slag. Columns toppled, reduced to skeletal fragments. The floor was a broken crust, still shuddering with aftershocks. And Stone. Stone stood at the center of it, radiant and terrible. His wings were no longer metal but latticework flame, stretched wide like a crown of suns. His body glowed, molten veins crawling across his skin, his face half angel, half nightmare. He was beautiful, and he was monstrous, and he was still there. Mack forced himself to his knees. Every nerve screamed mutiny, but he didn't care. He couldn't afford to. Weapons gone, armor shredded, his right wrist useless, his ribs broken. Ace barely conscious, his psychic reserves spent to smoke. But Stone was still alive, and that meant their fight wasn't done. "Come on!" Mack growled, dragging Ace upright. "On your feet!" Ace staggered, leaning on him, shaking like a drunk. "Mack, I can't." "You can. If you can breathe, you can bloody stand." "Everything's gone," Ace whispered. "Weapons, comms. I can't tap it again. It'll kill me." Mack bared his teeth. "Then it'll bloody kill you trying. Better than lying here while he tears the world apart." Stone turned toward them. His expression was unreadable, godlike serenity fused with seething rage. He should have looked untouchable, but in the tiny tilt of his head, the fractional narrowing of his eyes, Mack saw it. Surprise. They had survived. Mack spat blood at the floor. "Yeah," he muttered. "Didn't expect that, did you?" He shoved Ace behind the ruins of another pillar, then limped forward alone, every step defiance given flesh. His body shook, his vision doubled, but he kept moving. "Stone!" he bellowed, voice cracking. "You'll have to do better than that." Stone's wings flared. The chamber blazed brighter, but he didn't strike. He simply watched, his head tilted, molten light dripping from his hands. "You persist," he said, voice echoing with layered tones. "You endure the flame. Why?" Mack grinned, half mad, teeth stained red. "Because we're bloody human. And that means we don't stop just because it hurts." The grin faltered. His voice dropped, rough, unguarded. "Because you're ours, and I'm not giving you up without a fight." For the briefest instant, Stone froze. His jaw tightened, his wings faltered. Something flickered behind the light, like a face pressed against glass. Then it was gone. He bared his teeth, and the chamber shuddered as fire gathered again. "Then you will burn together." Mack knew he had nothing left. No weapons, no tricks, no miracles. Just him and his ruined body, and Ace barely standing behind him. But as he faced the monster that had once been their brother, he felt no fear. Only the iron certainty that if Stone was going to end them, he would have to earn it. He lifted his good hand, curling bloodied fingers into a fist. "Come on, then," Mack whispered. Stone roared, wings folding inward like blades, and the world went white again.
That is the end for this one. Make sure you come back for more, and like and subscribe. See you soon.